Wednesday night in Boston, Cleveland's rolling, winners of 3 straight, and they're bringing the league's top offense into TD Garden. The Celtics are searching for answers without Jason Tatum. The Hardwood Report starts right now. And greetings from our Temecula studio. Welcome to the Hardwood Report. I'm Ryder Bullock. We begin our Wednesday night doubleheader with a matchup that feels like a role reversal. Cleveland confident and cruising. Boston bruised and searching. The Cavaliers arrive at TD Garden with a 3-1 record and a 3-game win streak in their back pocket. They've looked every bit the team that won 64 games last season. Deep, disciplined, and dangerous. Even without Darius Garland and Max Struss tonight, Cleveland brings a brand of basketball that's built to travel. Physical in the paint, opportunistic in transition, and relentless on the glass. Donovan Mitchell continues to lead the charge, but it's the collective Mobley, Allen, and a bench that knows its roles that makes Cleveland a problem. Boston, meanwhile, is 1-3, and without Jason Tatum sidelined with an Achilles injury, that puts the spotlight squarely on Jaylen Brown. But this isn't just about scoring, it's about identity. Can the Celtics rediscover that defensive edge that made them elite last season? Can they protect home court against a team that punishes mistakes? Take a look at the numbers. Cavs averaging 121.9 points per game, 51.3 points in the paint. You compare that to the Celtics' 46.2% field goals and 36.8% from three. The numbers favor Cleveland. The moment demands more from Boston, and tonight, in a building steeped in history, we'll see which team sets the tone and which one gets left behind. Then later tonight, we close our doubleheader with a matchup that was supposed to be a rematch. Instead, it's a resilience test. The Lakers and Timberwolves meet again, but this time the stars are sidelined and the spotlight shifts to the supporting cast. The Lakers are back on the road and back in survival mode. Injuries have turned promise into puzzle, with 7 names on the report and 2 road games ahead. Los Angeles enters Target Center with more questions than answers. On the injury report, Doncic, LeBron, Kebler, Thero, and Vincent all out. Haynes and Smart are questionable. So no Luka, no LeBron, no margin for error, and yet Austin Reeves has emerged as the unexpected counterpiece. 143 points in 4 games, tying him for 3rd most in franchise history to start a season. Tonight, the Wolves will treat him like 2011 Dwayne Wade, and they should, but one man alone won't be enough. Rui Hachimura has shown flashes. The Lakers need more than flashes. They need fire. They need depth and discipline, and a belief that the system can overcome circumstances. Minnesota, meanwhile, counters with size. Gobert, Randall, Reed, and a front court that's healthy and hungry. With Anthony Edwards out, the Wolves will lean on length, rebounding, and defensive pressure. For Lakers coach J.J. Redick, the question is tactical. Go small again or match muscle with muscle. This one won't be about star power. It'll be about grit, about the game plan, and about who can execute when the lights are bright and the bench is thin. The Lakers played hard in Monday's loss to Portland. Tonight they'll need more than effort. They'll need answers. More on those games in a moment, but first, here's what's trending in the NBA. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trailblazer head coach Chauncey Billups are on unpaid leave of absences following federal charges related to gambling. According to sources who spoke with ESPN's Shams Charania, Rozier's $26.6 million salary for the season will be held in escrow, meaning he won't receive payments unless he's cleared and reinstated by the NBA. Billups, whose salary is $7 million, will not be paid during his leave either, but his earnings are not being escrowed. He simply forfeits them pending the outcome of the FBI investigation. Rozier, Billups, and more than 30 others were arrested last week in connection with 2 federal indictments. Authorities allege Rozier conspired with associates to manipulate betting outcomes based on his performance in a March 2023 game while playing for the Charlotte Hornets. Rozier played limited minutes in that game, and bets placed on his underperformance reportedly paid off. The NBA investigated after sportsbooks flagged suspicious betting patterns but did not find enough evidence to discipline Rozier at the time. Unlike federal investigators, the league lacks subpoena power. Rozier also faced scrutiny over a federal tax lien filed in November 2023, which listed an $8.2 million unpaid balance for the 2021 tax year. His attorney, Jim Trusty, disputed the figure, stating that Rozier only owed $9,000 and that the lien was outdated and should be removed. Rozier's property taxes in Broward County, Florida, where the lien was filed, have been paid in full, and he owns a house roughly 30 miles from the Heat's arena. The NBA is now reviewing how it handles sensitive information like injury reports, which are publicly updated hourly. Members of Congress have also taken notice. Senators Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell sent a letter to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver requesting details about the league's handling of the Rozier case and why he was allowed to continue playing after the allegations surfaced. Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo admitted that Tuesday's 121-111 win over the New York Knicks carried extra weight, largely because the Knicks had swept the Bucks in last season's series. New York dominated Milwaukee in 24 and 25, winning all three matchups by average of 22 points, a fact that lingered in Antetokounmpo's mind heading into the game. They were way better than us last year, and we didn't make it tough for them, Antetokounmpo said after posting 37 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. As the leader of this team, I remember I don't forget things. He emphasized that he tried to set the tone early in a shoot-around, reminding his teammates of last year's sweep. The Bucks had struggled against the Eastern Conference elite last season, going 0 for 9 against the top 3 seeds, Cleveland, Boston, and New York. But Tuesday's game marked a shift in energy. Milwaukee overcame a 14-point first-half deficit, fueled by Antetokounmpo's explosive third quarter, where he scored 14 points and handed out 4 assists. One highlight sequence saw him block Mikal Bridges' layup and finish with a dunk on the other end, punctuated by a gesture to the crowd and a declaration, "This is my city." I thrive when it's tough, he said. Antetokounmpo made history by becoming the first NBA player to score at least 30 points on 60% shooting or better in each of his first 4 games of a season. He downplayed any deeper meaning behind his on-court message, saying it was simply a product of the moment. Over the summer, Antetokounmpo was linked to the Knicks in a trade rumor, with reports suggesting New York was the only team he'd consider outside of Milwaukee. Talks between the two sides were brief and never materialized. On Tuesday, Antetokounmpo brushed aside the speculation, saying his focus was on basketball and preparing for Thursday's matchup against the Golden State Warriors. "What matters right now is we have a game in 2 days against Golden State," he said. "Try to stay locked in and get 2 in a row." In the second installment of NBC's MJ Insight to Excellence, which aired Tuesday night, Michael Jordan offered a candid take on the modern NBA's approach to load management. Speaking with Mike Chirico, Jordan dismissed the concept outright, saying it shouldn't be needed. He emphasized his own commitment to playing every game, citing a sense of duty to fans, especially those who made sacrifices to afford tickets. "I want to impress that guy way up top," Jordan said, adding that even hecklers deserved a performance worth remembering. Jordan recounted playing through a sprained ankle early in his career to build his reputation and revisited the legendary flu game from the 1997 NBA Finals. He believes he was suffering from food poisoning that day, bedridden until just 90 minutes before tip-off. Despite skipping warm-ups, Jordan scored 38 points and led the Bulls to a pivotal win over the Utah Jazz, collapsing into Scottie Pippen's arms. "I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy," he said. "The emotions, the situations, the need of the team, all those things catapulted me. Jordan and the Bulls went on to win the 1997 title and repeated the feat in 1998, clinching the championship with his iconic jumper over Brian Russell in Game 6. Though many Jazz fans still argue Jordan pushed off to create space for the shot, the moment remains etched in NBA history. In a nod that controversy, a wireless network inside Utah's arena still bears the name Jordan pushed off, a reminder of the play that sealed Chicago's sixth title. That's what's trending in the NBA. Now let's focus on tonight's game. Cavaliers at the Celtics Wednesday night. Now listen, this is a good one. You've got Cleveland, you've got Boston, two teams that were right at the top of the Eastern Conference last year. Cleveland had the best record in the East, 64 wins, and they're off to a strong start again. They're 3-1, they're playing well, and they just blew out Detroit on the road. Donovan Mitchell, he's been terrific, 35 points on 18 shots. That's efficient. That's star-level stuff. And Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, they're controlling the paint. Mobley's the reigning defensive player of the year. Let's not forget that. And he's playing like it today. Now, Boston, they're 1-3, but don't let that fool you. They've still got that defensive identity. They're holding teams under 40% shooting, and they just locked up New Orleans and helped them to 90 points. That's a team that's been scoring 115 plus. So Boston can still defend. Jaylen Brown's been excellent, shooting the ball well, and Simmons gave them a big lift off the bench. So no Tatum this season, right? But Brown's stepping up. That's what stars do. The Celtics are at home, TD Garden, but they haven't won there yet this season. That's just not something Celtics fans are used to seeing. Cleveland's got the edge in continuity, but they're missing Garland, Struss, and Merrill. So both teams are banged up. It's going to come down to execution, rebounding, and who controls the tempo. These teams have split their last 6 meetings, so don't expect a blowout. This is going to be a grind. Tip-off at the top of the hour should be a good one. Now, game 2 of our doubleheader, Lakers at the Timberwolves. Now, listen, this was supposed to be a big one. You had LeBron, you had Luka, you had Anthony Edwards, 3 of the league's brightest stars all on the floor. That's a headline game. That's prime time. That's why we were supposed to be talking about it. But none of them are playing tonight. LeBron's still out with sciatica, Luka's dealing with the leg and finger, and Edwards is sidelined with the hamstring. So you've got a different kind of game now. This is no longer about the stars. This is about the second and third guys. This is about who steps up. And I'll tell you right now, Minnesota's got the better supporting cast. They've got depth, they've got continuity, and they've got Jaden McDaniels. Now, McDaniels, he's been Anthony Edwards' running mate for a while, but he's still underappreciated. People don't realize how much he can give you offensively. When Edwards is out, McDaniels becomes a different player. He's not just spotting up. He's attacking. He's in transition. He's finding mismatches. Listen to this. In the last 4 games without Edwards, he's averaging 24.5 points. That's not a fluke. It's a guy who knows how to rise to the moment. And don't you dare forget about Chris Finch. He called out the Timberwolves for their defense earlier this week. So you know they're going to come out with an edge. They're going to try and shut down the last viable Laker threat, and that's Austin Reeves, my X factor tonight. If they do that, they could get away from LA fast. The Lakers, on the other hand, they're missing their top 2, right? No LeBron, no Luka. That's a lot of offense gone. So now it's about effort. It's about who's ready to play. You'll see guys like Terrence Shannon Jr. get minutes. You'll see who's got the motor. But make no mistake, this is Minnesota's game to control. Tip off at 9:30 Eastern from the Target Center. It's not the game we expected, but it's still a game that tells you something. It's going to tell you who's ready when the lights are still bright, even if the stars are out. Keys to the game and tonight's pick and play coming up a little later, but first, We're 1 week into the NBA season, if you can believe that. 1 week. And already, it's chaos. I mean, you got 40-point games flying around like the All-Star break. 16 of them. 16. That's the most in league history through 7 days. You got Maxey, Markkanen, Jamal Murray, Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, yeah, he dropped 40 like it's nothing. What are we doing here? And while the league's lighting it up on the floor, off the floor, it's a mess. You got gambling investigations, rigged poker games, insider injury, information being traded like stock tips. I mean, come on. This is the NBA, not Wall Street. And now the league office wants to overhaul injury reporting. Good luck. Coaches are going to fight that tooth and nail. But you know what? They got to do it. You can't have guys listed as questionable until tip-off while someone's betting the house on it. It's a joke. Now, somebody asked me, which team has surprised you? And the answer to that is the San Antonio Spurs. They're 4-0 for the first time since 2019. And get this, they're doing it with Wemby. And Wemby's been phenomenal. Okay? And Luke Cornett, right? Luke Cornett anchoring the second unit, 12 boards and an overtime win. Dylan Harper, the rookie, goes plus 33 against Brooklyn. And they're doing this without De'Aaron Fox and Jeremy Shohan. Right? That's coaching, that's depth, that's culture, right? No Greg Popovich. This is a new era for the Spurs. I didn't expect a bad year from the Spurs, but I didn't expect a 4-0 start. I didn't expect Wembanyama to be dropping 40. Come on. Man, oh man. Team that is, here's a question, which preseason prediction do you want to take back? And I'm going to take back the Knicks. I said they would own the East. I still think, now don't get all crazy on me. I still think the East will win the Eastern Conference. I just thought they wouldn't have company in the East. I thought they would run it. Okay, I thought they'd own it. I was wrong. They're 2-2 and they look like they've never met each other. I get it. You know, Heat and Celtics are tough outs, but you got to build some sweet team camaraderie. You got to grind. And Karl Anthony Towns, he's got to be the guy. He was not the guy last night. I mean, he's shooting 40%. That's not going to cut it. You want Bridges and a nobody to thrive. Towns has to dominate. And he said they have company. Well, who's their company? It's Philly. Philly. Last year, they were a funeral march. This year, they're a parade. Maxey and Edgecombe in the backcourt, explosive. Embiid's on minute limit, same old story, but he's playing. Paul George and McCain are close. They're 4-0 and leading the East. That's a turnaround. Hot take that you want to make now for the rest of the year. Okay, here you go. Cooper Flag, this is my hot take for another season prediction here. Hot take. Cooper Flag does not win Rookie of the Year. It's not happening. I love the kid, but Rookie of the Year is not happening. He's playing point guard for the first time in his life. The Mavs are dead last in offensive efficiency. Dead last. Jason Kidd's juggling, Russell and Nembhard like it's a preseason scrimmage. Russell's shooting 29%, but he's only one making plays. They're plus 31 with him, minus 71 without him. That's not a stat. That's a siren. So if not Cooper Flag, who wins it? Give me VJ Edgecombe, the rookie from Philadelphia, averaging 22.3 points, 5.8 boards, 5.5 assists, shooting 47%. That's not just good. That's real. That's impact. That's a kid who's going to be around for a long time. So 1 week in, folks, 1 week. And already the NBA is giving us headlines, headaches, and highlights. Keys to the game. Somewhere. Had the wrong notepad. We'll get there. You stay with us. We'll get there. Here we go. Cleveland spacing Merrill. Keep an eye on Merrill. His emergence has opened the floor with Garland out there, running a lot through Mitchell and spacing with shooters. If Boston doesn't close out, this could get ugly. Ball movement, 19 assists a game. That's not Celtics basketball. They need Brown to be decisive, and they need White to hit shots. Otherwise, it's iso ball and bad possessions. And bench minutes. Cavs bench is out playing Boston's Merrill, Okoro, and Dean Wade. They're giving J.B. Bickerstaff quality minutes. Missoula's rotations have been shaky. If the second unit doesn't show up, this could be a long night. Tonight's pick and play. I'm taking the Cavs with the points. They're plus 3.5. The over is 218. I'm taking the Cavs with the points. They've won 3 straight. Mitchell's averaging 30. And Sam Merrill is hitting 5 threes a night. That's production. Meanwhile, Boston's offense is stuck in the mud. League's worst in assists per game. They're not moving the ball. They're not hitting shots. Pritchard and White are colder than a January morning in Worcester. Until that changes, I'm not laying points with them. Give me the Cavs, and I'll take the over 218.5. This has been the Hardwood Report. We'll see you for the Hardwood Report at the